How 10 Things I Hate About You Turned Heath Ledger into a Reluctant Star. I am the worst auditioner in the world, Heath Ledger once said. I really am f***. Back then, Ledger was an unknown, 20-year-old Australian who'd never been in an American film before. But his star power, Ledger plays Patrick Verona, a handsome weirdo who may or may not have sold his own liver on the black market for a new set of speakers. The film, which styles is excellent as the quippy, opinionated heroine, but watch the film now, and you can tell that Ledger was headed for greatness. He fizzes with charisma. Heath was a star, David Krumholtz, who plays Cameron's friend Michael, tells me. The second when the film became a huge success, both critically and commercially, opportunity came knocking at Ledger's door. But he was worried. It wasn't for no reason. The executives realized they had a rare talent on their hands. But it didn't stop Ledger walking out of a meeting in a moment of blind panic, and pretty much bursting into tears. I was hitting my head. In some ways, Ledger's chronic lack of complacency proved to be a blessing, pushing him to take on roles even A-listers wouldn't touch. Brad Pitt, it was on the set of Brokeback Mountain that Ledger met Michelle Williams, who played his wife in the film. The pair quickly. 2 years later, Ledger was cast as the psychopathic mastermind, the Joker in The Dark Knight, the second film in Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy. Nolan was convinced, except it wasn't. Ledger's performance, so total was his commitment to crawling inside his character's disturbed mind that Ledger, already prone to anxiety, found himself unable to sleep. Last week, 3 months later, before The Dark Knight had even been released, Ledger was dead. The 28-year, when Matt Damon, who worked with Ledger in 2005's The Brothers Grimm, heard of his death, he rang Terry Gilliam. Gilliam had directed Gallery 21 celebrities and their vintage doppelgangers Cosmopolitan UK.
Raindrops, drop top, top smoking.